Hi everyone, this is your girl Nelly. I'm on same television. Catch you guys later. Don't touch that dial. This is the best station ever.
Hello viewers, I'm happy to have you back after our last program. We are here now on a very important program, State of the Nation's Economy. This is a program we talk about where we are coming from, and where we are heading. We are here to excavate every issue surrounding our economy, surrounding our living, because the economy dictates our standard of living. So I am asking you to stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, because we are with a personality who has gathered all experience, both in academics, professionally, and on his career. I am here with Mr. Patrick Akamiokhor. Let me start by saying that I describe him as a financial expert. Having known his career path, he has been in the business of money from the time of Central Bank, when he joined the bank as a youngster and grew until he became a manager, before he decided to leave and venture into the private sector. He moved into Defcon Merchant Bank, where he worked until he rose to the position of inspector, if I am right. And from there he moved to Equatorial Trust Bank before he finally left the banking industry and decided to establish his business. He's still in the business of finance. He has been able to write his name in the history of Nigerian economy, having provided financial support, financial knowledge, even to ICANN, General Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. He has made impact. He has trained a lot of bankers today, who today are even MDs of some banks. Permits me to welcome Mr. Patrick Akamiokhor to State of the Nation's Economy.
Thank you, Jacob. Good to have you here.
Please, I forgot to say that he's a family man. He's a responsible family man. He's a religious man, and whatever he's going to say today is backed by faith and ethics. I am Mr. Robert Ipoga. Welcome to State of the Nation's Economy. Welcome.
Nigeria is the only country we have. We don't have any other country. Even if you have a document to stay in another country, you still have to come back to your home. This is our home. But the truth is that Nigeria is going through crisis. The state of the economy is so bad that many people don't understand what we are going through. People are just talking about the political angle, not the economic angle. In the last 8 years, Nigeria declined substantially. Not because it was intended, but that was what happened. All the microeconomic indices are in the negative. That is the truth. Is it the debt profile? Is it the rate of inflation? Is it the GDP growth? Is it the poverty level? Just name it. Everyone is talking on the negative side. And we need the help of everyone to come out of where we are. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We want to go into specifics.
Okay.
Of course, it is obvious. Everybody is saying that Nigerian economy is not healthy. That is not on the pessimistic angle. We are also optimistic that it will get better, and that is why we are here.
Yes.
To find a way and give those advice that is needed to move the economy to where it's supposed to be. Let's start from the last regime. I must say that from the last regime, it was obvious that things are not in the place they are supposed to be. We were the debt profile was high and is still high. Inflation rates moving at a pace that is shocking to everybody. And before this administration came in, and there are some steps they have also taken that is now beginning to raise objections or concern about where we are going. A major aspect of that step that this administration have taken is the removal of fuel subsidy. Let us start from there. Do you see that fuel subsidy removal heading us to a good path, or is making things worse?
Robert, the truth is that as a country, there was no other option. Time came when we needed to stop playing politics with critical issues. Let's play back. When President Obasanjo was the president of this country, he looked at the issue of subsidy, and the idea was, let's freeze refineries. A lot of money was pumped into revamping the refineries, turnaround maintenance. He couldn't achieve it. Before leaving in 2007, he sold those refineries, I think about 2 of them, to Dangote and his members. But for political reasons and for personal greed and whatever you call it, people went about the whole place saying that Obasanjo has sold national assets to his friend. We are talking about refineries that were not producing, were incurring losses. People were calling them strategic national assets. And President Yar'Adua had to refund the money back to Yar'Adua, to Dangote and his people. As I'm talking to you, those refineries are still not working. They have incurred trillions of losses over this period. Between 2007 and today, those refineries, 4 of them, would have incurred nothing less than 2 trillion losses accumulated for us, for Nigeria. And they are called strategic national assets. Leave that. In 2011, President Jonathan wanted to remove fuel subsidy. Politics came in. They said, no, it's corruption, it's this, it's that, it's this. Then Buhari came and said, fuel subsidy was a scam. Politics. We played politics with it. But unfortunately, the last 8 years, the government in the last 8 years paid more subsidy than any other government before it. And that was draining the economy. Unfortunately, this current president, who was in forefront of those who were saying that fuel subsidy was a fraud, that what Jonathan did in 2011 was wrong and kicked against it, was now challenged with the need to remove the subsidy, and he did it. There was no other way out. But what people are saying is that what were the plans? What did you put in place? If I remove the subsidy, what was the next thing to do? It's like there was no plan of what to do. It was after removing the subsidy and there was crying over the whole land. People were crying, so much noise, that we talk about the issue of palliative. Initially, they said they want to give each household some money, which was later jettisoned to what we are having now, and so on and so forth. According to Buhari, President Buhari, then in Nigeria, if we don't kill corruption, corruption will kill Nigeria, and that is what has played up to this date. Subsidy needed to go, and it has gone. But how do we manage the after effect so that Nigeria that came out of being the poverty of capital of the world in 2022 will now go to become poverty capital of the world in 2024? Because where we are going, that is where we are heading to. I will not be surprised if in 2024 Nigeria comes back again as the poverty capital of the world. India is the poverty capital of the world now. But the way we are going, what is happening now, people cannot pay school fees for their children. People who have 2 cars, people are dropping their cars because they cannot fuel their cars. People are selling cars so that they can have money to eat. The way we are going, if something is not done urgently, by 2024 we may go back again as the poverty capital of the world.
Okay, I think that is the center of the discussion right now, because we need to know what should be done to go forward. Okay, for example, we also know that the government revenue is suffering. So that's what probably have contributed to the suffering of the land, because the things they are supposed to do, they are also not having the revenue to do it. What is your advice in that regard?
See, let's go back to memory lane. The government of President Obasanjo to Jonathan were not challenged with revenue. They had enough revenue. They had enough. But they had excess crude reserve, excess money reserved from excess crude sales. Now, the government that took over from them had serious challenge in revenue. Serious challenges in revenue. Emphasis by the previous government was on borrowing and spending. If you can recall, toward the end of the government wanted to spend 890 billion on census. This is a government that had a budget of about 21 trillion naira, was going to have a deficit, had to borrow about 12 trillion naira. So what the government was going to borrow was more than what the government was able to generate. I wanted to spend almost $1 trillion to conduct a census. It was not necessary. The first thing first, this particular government should try to avoid unnecessary expenditure. There are some expenditure you can avoid. We spend so much on railway line. What are we getting from them today? We spend so much in building one or two other things that are not bringing in any income. We know the source of revenue for the country. I mean, the basic revenue generating arm of the government. We have the custom generating naira revenue. We have FRS generating tax naira revenue. You have NNPC generating NNPC and its subsidiaries and all the other companies generating foreign exchange revenue for the government. These major three arms, the other MDAs were generating. So emphasis should be placed on giving targets to all revenue generating organs to generate money. Let me give you a particular example. The last chairman of FRS said when he was appointed, he promised to raise Nigeria tax to GDP ratio from 6% to 10%. It's not that government, it's not that the person that appointed him gave him a target. He gave himself a target. That is not how it should be. When you appoint anybody into a position, the person must be given a target. This is what we want you to do. That was what happened in CBN. Somebody was appointed as CBN governor without a target. He was doing everything. CBN became Bank of Industry, Bank of Commerce, Bank of Agriculture. It became in simple economy. We were told that CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, is a banker of last resort. It's a lender of last resort. But the CBN we had was a banker of first resort. It was intervening everywhere, and CBN had no design system to ensure that this intervention worked, and they never worked. Where are those interventions? Where is the impact of all intervention? We don't have nothing to show for it. We had pyramid of bags of rice about 2 years ago. Where do you have the rice now? Now we need rice. The government talking about palliative. If we had those pyramids were real, we should be taking those rice now to serve Nigeria. Where? Why we not having rice to serve Nigeria? Why are we talking about importing rice to come and serve Nigeria? When we are supposed to have pyramids upon pyramids of rice. So we have deceived ourselves enough. We have been deceiving ourselves. We should take out deception. We should play politics little. The economy is going through stress. Inflation rate at 25.8%. Lending rate in the bank, average lending rate, not less than 28%. MPR, 18.75%. With this, you are talking about a country where people cannot even borrow to do business. If you borrow money at 30%, what are you going to do with it? What kind of production are you going to make money? The CBN wants to tame inflation by increasing interest rates, which we call monetary policy hawk approach of taming inflation. But it cannot really work here because this economy is not credit-driven economy. That works in a credit-driven, because the idea is increase interest rate, people will borrow less to spend. But here we spend without borrowing. It's cash. This is still a cash economy. You also saw what happened during the Naira resign. The economy almost collapsed because there was no cash to spend. So this is a cash economy, whether you like it or not. Forget about all these stories. Even the banking system could not withstand the Naira redesign because people were not doing transfer and the transfers were hanging and were not going through because the system was not built for that level of transactions. So we have a country that is cash economy. So the more you increase the interest rate, the more the inflation will continue to go up because it's not controlling it. The issue is what do we do in the near, very close future to get out of our crisis? What do we do? One, we should stop. Whatever spending we can stop, we should stop. There's no point buying new cars, luxury cars for senators, for House of Rep members, for having long convoys of cars, spending money on fuel, having long retinue of aids. Those costs of governance needs to be checked. That is where the major problem is. We spend so much money on governance. The cost of governance is too high for this country. Nigeria is, to me, to be said, between me and you, Nigeria is not really ripe for a presidential government. Because the burden of presidential government is so high, why are we having the Senate and the House of Rep? So many people doing little or nothing. How many days of a year do they spend attending to Nigeria issues? The cost of governance is too high. I know that cannot be immediately addressed, but we should look towards addressing it. It's something that to be addressed. Two, the government should make serious point. The government should take before you and me. The correct government has done what previous government could not do. One, removal of subsidies. Two, taking the exchange, trying to harmonize, although you cannot harmonize, trying to harmonize the exchange rate. Exactly how much we are owing as a country. That we establish that. Then the next thing is how do we pay these debts? Do we restructure? Do we refinance? And some of them that are maturing. In fact, from what we are hearing, that the debt is broken down into multilateral debt, bilateral debt, commercial debt, and promissory notes. Four. Those debts most of them are talking about. The bilateral debt, which is between country and country, we are owing China alone about $4.6 billion. China alone. China alone, one country. And most of those debts, the way they are packaged, there are some conditions that we don't know. What are they attached to? We are hearing from the grapevine that some of them are attached to our oil well. And if we don't pay, they will see the oil well. Some of them are attached to our reserve. If we don't pay, they can take from our reserve. So we need to know exactly what these debts, what were they used for, and what were the conditions. Where are we? So I will know those that are going to be doing the next 1, 2, 3 years that are very critical. Then those that we've got at very high rates, can we, as a country, decide to get ourselves, to give ourselves money? See, Nigerian money that is not in Nigeria, that is not with the government, is with individuals in Nigeria. Let's get it true. Corruption is part of it. If I may quote Larry King of blessed memory, CNN, said Nigeria is a very funny country. Nigeria imports what it has and exports what it does not have. That was in 1998, because we're trying to put democracy in Liberia. We're not democratic. And we're importing refined products when we have crude oil and we have refineries. The same thing is happening today. Very funny situation. The money of Nigeria, out of Nigeria. We saw it, we were here when we learned that a particular past MD of NNPC had about $9 million in his house, cash. Somewhere along the line, we have learned that about $400 something million were recovered, cash, all over it's all over the place. So that's why that a military officer retired, they dug ground up and they buried dollars there. So this money is in the hands of Nigeria. You should, how do we get Nigeria to save Nigeria? Maybe we go and package a bond called Diaspora Investment Bond. Package for Nigerians in diaspora. Well, those of us here, those who have access to dollars here can also invest in it. But call it Diaspora Investment Bond. ask Nigerians all over the world to invest in it. Maybe for 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. That's so that we can probably take out all these external debts that are either choking or difficult to manage or can put us in trouble. Okay, that can help this country. Yeah, we are borrowing money, but we are borrowing to repay existing loan. We are not taking a general loan for use. Two, in Nigeria, the former CBN governor was saying that people should not quote prices for items in Nigeria in dollars. That should go. Okay. Anybody that wants to sell his item in dollar, let him sell as far as he can get the dollar. Let airlines price their ticket in dollars so that they don't have to have a record to CBN to give them dollars. If they sell in dollars cash and they want to remit the cash, take it out by themselves, let them take it out by themselves. It's their money. So don't put restriction on the use of foreign currency in Nigeria. Nigerian naira has gone to a level where it's becoming embarrassing. The way we are going today now, in the alternative market, people call it black market, but I don't call it black market because there's nothing black in that market. The market is open, it's everywhere. Okay, in the alternative market, or even in the BDC market, or even in the inflow market where people inflow FX. The exchange rate today is doing 966 naira to $1. $1 cannot buy a loaf of bread in the United States. Cannot buy a loaf of bread in UK. But here, 500 naira can buy you a big loaf of bread. So in terms of purchasing power parity, Nigerian naira has been beaten down seriously. You can still feed here with 500 naira. And that 500 naira is almost about half a dollar, about 50 cents. What food are you going to eat in the United States with 50 cents? What food are you going to eat in Canada with 50 cents? It doesn't make sense. So the issue is that something has to be done. Don't over the Nigerian naira has been beaten down. We need let people, those who have access to dollar, they can bring in, let them bring it in. Don't all the restrictions we put over the whole place before, we should relax them. If I bring in my car to Nigeria and I say I want to take my car in dollars, somebody want to buy in dollars, let the person pay me in dollars. Then I can use the one and bring another one in. Why do I need to sell it in naira? Why do I need to sell it in naira? Sell it in naira, then I'll go and start looking for CBN to give me money, FX to bring new ones in. Okay? If I can get if I'm doing business and I get money in dollars or in pounds or in euro, and I want to send my child to university, my child should take the money out of Nigeria and go to school, take it in cash. $5,000, $6,000, they can take it in cash. If I can get it, if I can get it. So a lot of decisions were placed in time past because we had enough dollar to play with. We should remove those restrictions. They're not necessary. And and for me, as a former CBN staff, I know that a lot of accounts that money and people's money that have been seized or placed somewhere, as if CBN have put a lid on or put a hold on, free those money.
Welcome back to State of the Nation's Economy. In case you are just joining us, we will be chatting with Mr. Patrick Akamiokhor, a financial expert who has been able to speak elaborately on where we are, what we need to do, and where we are going. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Of course, tax is another major issue in Nigeria. The past regime have a kind of done so much about tax, which Nigerians have complained about, that this is not helping the economy. This administration have come again and they have just set up a tax committee. What would you say about the general tax system in Nigeria?
To be sincere with you, we have a system of taxation that is weedy, in the sense that the federal government is taxing, state governments are taxing, local governments are taxing over the whole places. So I see one company paying about 10, 12, 13 type of taxes. You brand your car, pay car branding taxes, pay radio taxes, For companies, not even for individuals at this time, you pay television. It just has local government are there, state government are there, everywhere. But it's a good thing that this government has set up a committee to harmonize taxes all over the country. See, what we are running, the truth is that we are running a federal government that is an aberration, that's unusual. All over the world, when you say federal government, we're talking about federating states. Those federating states make money and now give to the central to run the central administration. But in Nigeria, the federal central, the federal government makes money, collect it together, and share to the states, which is abnormal. No physical federalism. So some states can just go and sleep. End of the month, they go to Abuja, collect money, and that is that. Then those who are collecting, those who are having local government collecting money over the whole places, no proper account. One, accountability is an issue. Tax is a major revenue for any government. When this particular government has also appointed a new chairman or acting chairman for FRS, my expectation, like I said, government will give him target. This is what we want you to do for us. Not appoint him. He goes in there and they say, this is what I want to do for government. Sets a target for himself. No, it's not go that way. There's no reason why the FRS cannot generate up to 20 trillion naira for Nigeria, given the kind of country we are running. But there's leakages. We all know there are leakages. So we need to block those leakages. We need to bring a lot of companies into the tax bracket. I was a little bit shocked when about 2 years ago, the government then said any company that has a revenue company, revenue of 25 million and below, should be exempted from paying tax. Little drops of water makes the ocean. This is not the time to try accepting anybody from tax. What we need to do is harmonize so that people know what they are supposed to pay and when they are supposed to pay it and how they should pay it. Not that today anybody can bring anything. No, let's harmonize so that we have all the way down. So that River State government will not say we are generating VAT. Kano State government say nobody can drink beer in Kano. But when we not drink plenty beer and go in rivers and get the VAT, we take it to Central and you share for Kano that don't believe in that. Those are the stories we need to hear. Okay? Those can be harmonized and this can be done. If I register a company today, I'll bring the company here, then I will not go and register with FRS for tax purposes. It shouldn't be so. FRS should have a desk in CAC. The moment you register a company, FRS give that company a TIN number right there and take the record. This record will not be used to trace the company to pay taxes. It's not that you expect me to register a company, I go to my office, I will now go and collect form and fill and get to for FRS, or FRS start looking for me to come and pay tax, and I say the company is not operational. No, the CAC is a government parastatal, or an arm of government. FRS is an agency of government. They can work together. Have a desk there. Once the company is registered, you take it on immediately, so that from there you capture as many companies as possible. When the company comes to file annual returns, you check whether they have team, they are paying taxes. You check and follow up. That's how it should go. In fact, in the UK, my friend was telling me that in the UK, remember you register a company, your tax are started. The day you register it, tax are started. Because if you are not ready to do a business, why do you have to register the company? Any money that I title your company account is recorded, is captured somewhere. So, and we must pay tax on it. Unless you have to say, okay, these are my revenue. I pay company income tax, so I can't pay tax on because it's, and so on and so forth. So, we need to have a well-structured tax system. A lot of companies in Nigeria are not paying taxes. The few that are paying, they are choking them. A lot are not paying. Especially those Nnamdi and Kanu Limited in Idumota, plenty of them in Idumota, over the places. They are not paying taxes. Okay, because with their nature, they are really a company, they are doing business. You don't even know that they have to pay tax. Oh, they don't even know that they have to pay tax. It's just like a day an Okada rider hit a man who was trafficating to go into an estate. And the man said, I'll be trafficating. And the man said, what's my business with trafficator? I'm driving my Okada. You block my road. That will tell you the level of ignorance. As far as it was concerned, trafficator has nothing to do with him riding Okada. So a lot of people have companies that they are running. They don't even know they have to pay tax. Then this issue of giving the exemption to companies that are even if they are paying 100,000, if they are paying 50,000, let everybody pay something into the tax pool. We need money. The country is bleeding. Then this president too should look for a way. He has been in the system. He knows the system. The good thing, I'm sorry, I have to agree with you. The good thing about this particular government is that this government has been in the system. As government, as far back as 1993, it was there. The president was there as senator. My midwife, Madeko, came to government. He's been there. He knows the whole thing. So, and the people he's working with, most of them have been around. So they know what is what. They know what to do. But the issue that they should put, it's not a matter of fighting anybody. If you need to beg, beg. Those who have this money should bring the money into the country. Then attract a lot of foreign. If you attract a lot of foreign investors and you do a tax waiver, it's a different thing. But for those who are already here, let them drop something. We need money. The country needs money. The country is short. You cannot have a country with a budget of 21 trillion, borrowing 12 trillion, and only generating 9 trillion. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. And what is money we're going to be used for? Centers, elections to chunk of the money. Centers will take chunk of the money. There may be one that thing or the other year over the place. So that's it.
So I'm going to ask two questions which I feel they are very pertinent.
Okay.
You were staff of the CBN.
Yes.
You know.
Years ago.
Years ago.
Okay.
And you know the operations of the CBN.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the last appointee, Akamiokhor, is known as a banker. Now, this is the new one that has just been announced. Do you see the capacity based on the profession of this current CBN governor that has been announced? Because there has been an argument about saying that an economist is better as a CBN governor than a financial expert. Do you share that statement?
No, see, let's go back with memory lane. Let me not go too far. Abdulkadir Ahmed was a accountant. He ran the CBN. After him came Oguma, a chartered accountant. He ran the CBN. After him came Sanusi, not Sanusi Lamido, Sanusi, he was a chartered accountant. An economist and chartered accountant. He ran the CBN. CBN has been known to be a conservative organization. That was what when we worked there. Everything was done with moderation. You don't, if you have flamboyant, you have CDC, they will call the CDC. You are living an extraordinary life. You will ask them, explain where you get your money from. But unfortunately, after Sanusi left, came Soludo, an economist. Pure economist. Who his approach was talking about monetary policy, little no knowledge about banking supervision, little knowledge about operations. And from there, the system started going south. Okay? People started living a extravagant life. In fact, CBN staff started having companies they are running, hotels and whatever, up to date. In fact, some people even encourage them to have a plan B. A CBN governor tell their staff, why can't you be working here, don't have a plan B? Which was not the situation before. Okay? So Soludo came, did his own, and left. Yes, Soludo did a very wonderful job. Give it to him. He turned the system around. The banking industry became very, very strong and sound. But came Sanusi, also an economist and a banker. But his pronouncements created crisis for the system. So Emefiele, a banker, Emefiele, to me, I think, played into the hands of the cabal. And one of the things he did, it was teleguided. It is not normal. The CBN has a board of governors, the governor and 4 deputy governors. The CBN has a board of directors, which consists of the deputy governor, the governor, and board of directors. But you have a situation where only CBN governor was one taking decision. Basically, he was doing things by himself. So it turned CBN from being a banker of last resort to a banker of first resort, intervening practically in everything that he couldn't manage. So my belief is that this person coming, apart from being a banker, is an investment banker. Just between a banker and investment banker, he had worked in a merchant bank, worked in Citibank, and he has also been in politics for a while. I mean, came in as a commissioner sometime, and so I think with the president there knowing what he want to do, what we had then was that we had a president who didn't understand CBN, and we had CBN governor who did not understand that, look, I have my limits, and everything just went south. But the truth is that, no, I don't think we have had a CBN governor like Emefiele, and we may never have anyone like him again. It's not likely. We, as a country, we need to build strong institutions, not strong individuals. That's what we have had over the years. We have a strong president. We have a strong CBN governor. We have a strong EFCC chairman. We have a strong ICPC chairman. No, it should be this institution that should be strong, not the individual. So whoever comes in there, kissing. When it is something unusual, it's known, it's obvious, and people will shout. Everybody will shout and say, no, this is not normal. So I think this guy had no option than to perform, because he's meeting a CBN that is dry, a CBN who did not publish accounts in 7 or 8 years, and the account is just published. That that account has errors. I need to be recorded and prepared. So he cannot afford to fail. Okay, usually you have economists as the deputy. You have at least one deputy governor who is an economist. Where the deputy governor in charge of research and some other department, they're usually economists. There's nothing you can do about that. The deputy governor in charge of banking supervision, or that could be a chartered accountant. So you will have seasoned people working with the governor. It's just that if the governor decides to listen to his members, work together as a team, they will always come with a very good result. When the governor decides to be working alone, doing things alone, then we have the problem. But I think this guy had no option to be a good CBN governor. He had the predicate to be a governor.
Sir, I'm going to ask the last question. We want to have a comparison between performance of the banking sector in terms of their growth, their profit declaration, and especially its lending to the private sector percentage, and compared to what the economy is actually doing in terms of GDP growth. And do you see the banking sector performing optimally when it comes to building the private sector?
You see, the Nigeria system, the whole Nigeria system needs to be re-rotated. We need the re-rotation. I once ran a microfinance bank, which I sold because people were borrowing money and we didn't know to pay. There are a lot of bad debt in the banking industry. People borrow money and they will not pay. Akamiokhor came to clean those debts and try pursuing the people, seizing their houses, seizing their cars, which the banks could not do. Okay, Akamiokhor got a decree. Got an act backing it up to seize whatever they can seize from you. So that cleaned a lot of the bad debt in the banking industry, get them a lot of room to breathe and to operate. You see, you cannot operate better than the system where you are operating. When the economy was very buoyant, the banks were lending. I know they were lending a lot. But a bank like, I'm sorry to be specific, a bank like First Bank ran into crisis because First Bank lent a lot of money to the oil sector. And when price of oil came down, most of those companies couldn't pay. I think they see a ring on Marina now that First Bank had to seize and has been there, no buyer. Okay, so if the economy is doing well, the banking industry will do well, and we have money to give, to lend. But in the last couple of years, banks have relied more on FX differential to survive. I'm sorry to say. That is the truth. Than core banking business. Because one, I can't remember in the last 8 years how many companies have gone to the stock exchange to go and raise new capital. How many? They've not been going there. Then I can also remember most most people borrow money using commercial papers, and that's where FMDQ is doing very well today, because people are borrowing money through commercial papers, through debt instruments that are listed on FMDQ, rather than going straight to the bank, and the bank now invest in those instruments. Okay, invest in those, instead of lending money straight to the individual, they do it, package it as a product, list it on the market, the bank invest there. So banks are doing reasonably well, but the economy in the last 8 years has not been an aggressive economy. The economy has been going south, because there was no serious drive to any revenue. It got to a point. Let me give you a critical, a very simple example. In the history of oil windfall, 1991, when it was oil windfall, Nigeria earned money. 2001 or 2002, after the 911, 2001, after the 911, then there was a serious increase in the oil price. Nigeria got a lot of money. For the first time last year, Russia went to war with Ukraine, and price of oil went up. Nigeria could not earn any money. Aramco made billions. Russia, that caused the war, made billions. Other companies over the world made billions of dollars, but Nigeria could not, because Nigeria was not producing enough to export. Nigeria had a quota of 2 million barrels a day to export. Was doing less than 1 million. At a point, it got to as low as 900,000.
Yes, that is true.
So we couldn't earn money. We couldn't get oil windfall, which other government got and created excess crude reserve for us. But this government came, little they made, they finished it, and they couldn't add anything to it. They now started borrowing. So FRC should be on what should be done and must be done to bring NNPC to where it should be, so that Nigeria can export enough crude to earn foreign currencies.
It has been a swear time with Mr. Patrick Akamiokhor, a financial expert, and has been able to speak well on the state of the nation's economy. Sir, as a closer, this government is here.
Yes.
It's the government we have.
The government we have, that we even know.
And that we know. Okay, there's so much expectation by Nigerians on anybody that is sitting on that seat.
Yes.
Now, a cabinet has been constituted.
Yes.
As your closing remark,
Well,
what will you tell those ministers that has just been
appointed? What I would tell them is as simple as this: we have a country that is going down, that will be going down. They should do everything they can do to stop it from going down, then begin to move it up. Spending unnecessarily should stop. Wasteful spending should stop. People should embark on projects that are projects. Let me give you a small example. Lagos-Ibadan Road has been awarded more than 10 times. Was awarded by passenger to be expanded. They did small jobs and they stopped, but money was paid. Was awarded during Jonathan's regime. Some jobs were done here and here, stopped, and that was it. Then came this last government, and for some reason, they have almost, for some reason, which is good enough, they've almost completed it. At least they'll be working. Okay? If contracts are awarded, those contracts should be executed. And if they're not executed, people should be made to be accountable. In fact, to be sincere with you, Nigeria's greatest problem is lack of accountability. Everything is done in secrecy. A minister comes and said, I spent 6 billion to feed children in school when schools were closed down. And nobody has seen any need to sue that minister. Even after you have lawyers who claim to be people who are saying they are civil rights. By now, somebody should have sued that minister. That you claim to have spent 6 billion to feed children in school when schools were closed down. Who did you feed?
Who was in school?
6 billion. You have such expenditure all over the whole place, and nobody's accountable anybody. So the current president should make every minister to be accountable. If you give a minister 100 billion as a budget, and at the end of the day we're able to disburse the 100 billion, By the end of the year, the minister should tell us what you did with your 100 billion. By the time you present the next budget, every minister should tell us what they did. During the time of Obasanjo and I think early part of Jonathan, we need to have monthly publication of revenue earned by government and what it was used for. But in this last government, for 8 years, I don't think I saw that. Never came out. We don't know what government was earning. We don't know what they were spending. At least, even if it is doctored, let us know that the government was able to earn 10 billion and they spend 11 billion, so they spend 1 billion more. Accountability. And people should do what they are appointed to do. This country is stressed. If I see people, the senators discussing and saying things, send prayer to your account. I say, these people don't understand that this country is going through stress. It's not the naira that we can always print naira now. Yes. So we see people be printing it. Yes. We have 22.5 trillion printed ways and means, and I'll be giving it to government. We can only, but the more you do that, the less the value of your currency. The country will continue to go south instead of going north. This country needs to go north. Thank you very much.
It has been a sweat time, like I said, and we have discussed, and Mr. Patrick Akamiokhor has done justice to the questions, and are speaking so well about what we need to do, where we are going, who we are coming from, and where we are. This is Continental Economy Magazine and SEM Television. This program is State of the Nation's Economy. This is where we excavate every matter in the economy to find a way forward. We encourage you to follow us on all our social media channels: Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. We are there. Like, follow our page, and we are going to continue to give you the best about the nation economy. Continental Economy Magazine and SEM Television, your eye on African economy. My name remains Mr. Roberts Ipoga. See you with our next guest. Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a good day. Put on my AC, I mean. What was that AC making noise? You have a